What is going on, guys? Back with another video today, taking you guys through some of the reasons that someone might buy a Land Cruiser. Or if you're in the market looking for a new car and maybe you've been looking at some Land Cruisers and wondering, what's all the fuss about? Should you get into this stuff? Should you buy yourself a Land Cruiser? Well, let's just go over that today and maybe list some of the reasons why you might do so. I'm here today in my Land Cruiser Cygnus, which I regard as my sort of luxury vehicle, just very refined. It's got the leather, the comfort, all that stuff, and I love this vehicle. I absolutely love it. It's got the powerful engine, it's got the V8, and reasons why you might just want to go ahead and make that purchase, get yourself a Land Cruiser. Well, number one, I'd say, is the nameplate doesn't lie. The nameplate Land Cruiser, the nameplate speaks for itself. It means something. It's years and years of testing. So when you're getting a Land Cruiser, it's not just another Toyota vehicle. It's built in a separate plant. It's a different vehicle. So it's not just another vehicle coming off the assembly line. It's not a mass market vehicle. These are built in a specific factory and to a specific standard, because they are Toyota's most expensive vehicle and actually highest production cost as well to build. So it's all real stuff. The vehicle is built really solidly because it has to take on the world's toughest terrain and do it repeatedly. And that's why you get Land Cruisers in sort of like mines and stuff. You get the 79 series in those areas, and that's why the UN buys large amounts of Land Cruisers every year, because of that refined reliability. Sort of just keep going with minimal issues and just built very, very tough. You see, the average Land Cruiser is actually built to last up to 20 years or more. And that's not the standard that other cars are built towards, and that's why you don't find that with other vehicles. So if you want to go in the market and get yourself a Land Cruiser, you're getting something that has been put through the test, tried and tested. In absolutely all cases, it will bring you back home, no matter how far off the trek you go. So that's the number one reason. Number two, these vehicles, because of that longevity, that all the parts, although they might be kind of pricey when a part does go to replace, all those parts are also built to last the test of time, and that's an absolute great thing to have. And you will get spare parts as well, because the Land Cruiser is a popular vehicle, so you will get an aftermarket for it where you can mod them up. And because of that longevity as well, it's built in a certain way. So it's one of the vehicles that still has a solid frame, and that has its own benefits. A lot of cars these days are sort of like a unibody design, which is like, they're made of aluminium, and it's basically just a body on wheels. Whereas these cruisers are built like how trucks are built. You got a frame and then, everything else on top. A body, a frame, a ladder frame at the bottom, and you got a solid axle in the rear. You do have an independent front suspension in all the Land Cruisers that came after the 80 series, but that independent suspension is still built very tough and very reliable. So this is the kind of vehicle that you're in the market. You want to go on safaris, you want to put your family in it. It's extremely safe, it's luxurious, it's very refined. It's not exactly as saying, it's not exactly as a Land Cruiser Prado as well. You have to remember, the full-size Land Cruiser is absolutely its own beast, and built to a different standard, whereas a Prado might be sharing parts with maybe, Fortuner or some of the other vehicles. Whereas full-size Land Cruisers, the parts are exactly, only for the full-size Land Cruisers. So it is a very refined vehicle. You could call it luxurious as well, no doubt about it. You have all the amenities that would make it luxurious, heated seats. It just does everything really well. And that moves me on to my other point, which is sort of the drivability of it. the stability you get in a Land Cruiser is definitely something I would talk about. It's definitely something that I've noticed since I've driven a lot of vehicles, and you know, I keep coming back to the Land Cruiser for that stability that I feel on the road. The fact that it's a big vehicle, they make you sit nice and high up so you feel like you're in a truck. You know, I do appreciate, you know, the unibody designs of the Audis and the Mercedes and the way they build those vehicles. You know, they're those SUVs which are not built on ladder frames but are built more for like the city, and you know, more for like comfort and, you know, ultra fuel efficiency. Whereas definitely if you're in the market for a Land Cruiser, okay, fine, you're not getting maybe the best fuel efficiency, but I'm not saying you're getting bad fuel efficiency. And you know, for the fuel efficiency you're getting a vehicle that, you know, it's just never going to leave you stranded, that's built to a different standard. So you know, there's a payoff there. But there's a reason why you see so many Land Cruisers in Nairobi, in Kenya, in Australia. It's because they just work. Simple as that, bottom line. And you know, I'll always come back to this simply because I've also grown up on them. So you're in the market for all those reasons. Like, you want to go on safaris, you not be worried about the long journeys and how those journeys are going to be. I can promise you a Land Cruiser will get you there in ultra comfort, and it'll also surprise you in a lot of those scenarios where, you know, maybe you're in rugged terrain or you got to go on a lot of corrugations and you really have to beat up the car. You'll come out of it being surprised with what the vehicle was put through, but definitely, guys, make sure you have mechanical sympathy at all times. I mean, you don't have to just go insane, always be sensible about it. But yeah, the car will surprise you, and you'll come out of it having an admiration and respect for it all over again. So, and then another reason is maybe the V8s. I love the fact that the 200 up to the 200 series there was V8 petrols and V8 diesels. So if you love yourself a V8, hell, just go for it. You know, they're not making them anymore, and the V8s were just simply amazing. I love the sound of the Toyota 2UZ FE. It's such a smooth V8. You know, I understand the character of a G-Class, the G-Class bi-turbo V8 and how that sounds with the grunt, but the Toyota V8 is got a refinement about it that makes you fall in love with it, you know? A real pureness about every aspect of the V8, from the way it sounds, the way it feels, the way the transmission is mated to it, and the way that shifts as well. These vehicles are put together really well, and they give you, you know, true 4x4, all four wheels, and full-time four-wheel drive. So it's not none of that, you know, joking stuff of, you know, any fancy kind of systems working or electronic systems working. The vehicles are just proper full-time four-wheel drive, and it just gets the job done, no doubt about it. One of the most capable vehicles in the world, and that's another reason for them. What else? You know, it does have a certain imposing character about it. So if you're getting in the market for a Land Cruiser as well, when you drive a Land Cruiser, it's very imposing on the road. You know, it's got a different feel, and people look in it in a certain way as well, and that's pretty cool. So it does have a certain recognition and class and prestige here in Kenya as well. I mean, the whole presidential sort of convoy is full of Land Cruisers, absolutely full of Land Cruisers, and an LX 570 as well. So it's a very popular vehicle over here, and that's a nice reason to get into them. And the drivability is really good. They handle really well on the road, on road, and especially off road. So you know, long journeys, everything is just a breeze. When you drive a Land Cruiser, everything feels like a breeze, any kilometer, any journey, and that's a great reason. So, you know, here on a sunny, beautiful Sunday, and we wanted to talk about some of those reasons and see if we can batter it out and understand why you buy a Land Cruiser. I mean, driving it right now, there's nothing really like it. Nothing feels like it's just so well put together and solid, and you know, also hold their value really well. One of probably a great reason is that if you buy at the right time, you know, you try and buy where it's depreciated to a certain level. I don't like to buy a car brand. Okay, wouldn't be able to buy a Land Cruiser brand new off the showroom, especially here in Kenya where you pay like double. You know, if a Land Cruiser is $80,000, over here in Kenya you're paying $200,000 for it if you're buying it brand new. So our duty structure and stuff doesn't really make it easy or make sense to buy brand new. But if you buy it at the right depreciation, you know, where it's depreciated to a certain point, you can really get into it at a certain value and sell it at that same value or more in 5 to 10 years. And you know, the whole case of why do most Land Cruisers actually keep a Land Cruiser for more than 10 years, because that is an actual legit statistic. So that's another video that we will get into, why the average Land Cruiser owner keeps his vehicle for up to 10 years. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that as we go through all those reasons. Hope you enjoy the more regular uploads. And if you're new to this channel, thank you for coming on board. Hit like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.